Hey guys, welcome everybody to our Mental Adjustment Monday call that we usually have here on a Monday night. We appreciate everyone for hopping on. We got some people viewing live, and for those of you who are viewing via recording, we appreciate you guys taking some time out and watching this video. So, the last couple of weeks, Talon has been talking to us about discipline, just about how we should react and act. And then last week, I kind of had a quick thing about how to be a chain breaker. And this week, we're going to be talking about how to be emotionless. And what does that mean for decision making? Unfortunately, Talon can't be with us here live due to him being a D1 football player, obviously, and things are starting to ramp up for spring season. So he has, however, provided us an amazing video that he shot for us earlier. So I'm really excited to be able to share that with you guys. So without further ado, let's hear from Talon today.
Yo, what's up, everybody? So today I want to talk about not being emotional. Cover this today, right? Because at the beginning of 2021, everybody made goals, everybody makes New Year's resolutions, stuff they want to change and see different with their life, right? And they make those decisions with an emotional aspect to it, right? Something emotional triggers them. They make this decision, and you ride this emotional high. But this is around the time of the year, 3 months into the year, when people start to die off with that. Like they're whatever that goal was, they start forgetting their why. They forget that they stop being disciplined. They lack the commitment, the consistency to actually see that goal through, right? Why? Because there was an emotional decision, and that emotional high starts to die down. So why I want to talk about not being emotional today is because it's very important to understand to when I say not being emotional, but you're going to make an emotional decision. We're human beings. You're going to make an emotional decision, but understanding not to make your whole decision emotional, right? It needs to be some logic and some fact behind it, and some more than just emotions. You need to go put the work in behind it, right? So yes, you're gonna make it. Like when you set those goals, you're gonna be excited. You know, we're excited. We get excited about goals, and that's great. But don't let it just be in the moment, right? Let it be. You make this decision, right, with your emotion, but you also think it through. You don't just make this decision. I want to change my life, and that's it. Say I want to change my life and start working on how you're going to do that. What are the small steps you're going to take? Don't just make it an emotional decision, because then when stuff starts going wrong and you start hitting that roadblock, and you might slip back into your old ways, or you start going back to you get close to getting back to bad habits, or something's just not going right your way, or however whatever that thing is, then you're going to quit, and you're not going to be able to continue to see it through, right? But if you're not making an emotional decision, you write out steps and you put steps down. Now it's a difference. You have something to remind you continually and consistently that you made this decision, and this is why you made this decision, and this is how we're going to see this decision through, right? So that's why I like, if y'all go all the way back, one of the things I talk about is what is your why, knowing your why. That keeps you from being emotional. And what it actually does is you get that first emotional high. And now that, like we said, this is when the tank starts running empty, right? You put fuel in your car. You always got to go back to the gas station to refuel. Knowing your why is the gas station. That's going to be the gas that's going to continually produce the gasoline. Is always coming when you really have a strong why. You know your why, because every time you go check back in with your why, it brings you right back, and it just it ignites you again. You get excited again. You get passionate again. No matter what the situation is, right? You could be at your lowest of lows, and then you remember why you're going through this, and all of a sudden you got a whole different. You got new juice, new energy, and you ready to go attack the day. So that's why we say don't be emotional, right? Because if you're just emotional, now you're going to quit. Every single time, it never fails. The emotional people quit. But when you have more than just your emotions in it, and you understand, now you've invested yourself and your work into this, and you understand why you're doing what you're doing. It's not just emotional. Now you're not going to quit. Now you're going to keep pushing. So 3 months in the year, you know what I'm saying? This is when a lot of people start quitting on those resolutions or whatever that is. And I don't believe in making New Year's resolutions. I believe in making lifestyle changes. Something that you just make this decision, and it changes the whole trajectory of your life. You start making lifestyle change. That's what I believe in. Lifestyle resolutions, right? So that's all I got for y'all today. I really hope y'all really take this and think about it, and just go back and remember your why. Write it down. If you haven't written your why down, write it down. If you haven't written your goals down, write it down. If you haven't written steps down, write them down, because it's a constant visual reminder to yourself on why you're doing what you're doing, and what you're doing, and who you're doing it for. All right. So everybody, I appreciate your time. I hope that this message not only touches your heart, but it also changes your life. So everybody have a great day.
What a good word from him, man. Absolutely love every time that we get to hear from Tay. And he's right. A lot of times we do get involved with emotional decisions, and ultimately that's what kind of leads to a majority of our downfalls. I'm not gonna lie, I fall victim to this, and have fallen victim to this. So it's definitely a struggle for sure. And just one thing I want to add on to kind of what Tay wanted to, or what he was alluding to, right? So when he's talking about emotions, I want to go a step further, right? He said that emotions, they don't necessarily propel you to make the right decisions all the time. And I'll be honest with you, right? If we're being real, emotions most of the times will lie to you. Okay. I mean, let's just look at some decisions that you may make on a day-to-day basis, right? If you're upset with somebody, you may not even talk to that person, not because necessarily you don't like them, but because you're emotionally hurt. Okay. When you're emotionally invested into something, you're going to spend more time doing it. You're going to be more, I don't want to say invested, but yeah, like when you are emotionally invested, you will be invested into whatever you are, where your emotions are. So by taking emotions out of decisions, what you've actually done is you're entering this decision with a clear mindset. And it's not based off of emotions. It's not based off of anything else. This is something that you want to do because you believe that you need to do this. So, honestly, guys, what Tay said in just those 5 minutes was extremely powerful. Okay. And if you missed it, I would go back and just rewatch that a couple times over, because ultimately what he's saying is very true. And especially for my generation, and probably for ones that come behind me, that's going to be a problem. Is our emotions actually are dictating, not even just good decisions, they're just dictating everything, right? We feel outraged, so what do? We act on that outrage. We feel depressed, or we feel sad, or we feel happy. Okay, I mean, even good emotions can sometimes be a bad thing, because good emotions sometimes lead us to put put the cart before the donkey sometimes. So we have to be careful about that as well. Just because we're feeling good about something doesn't necessarily mean like, yo, this is a great idea. We need to just sit back and remove the emotion out of the decision or the process. And when you do that, ultimately that's going to be able to lead you into a more clear decision, a more direct decision, and one that's not based off of emotion that 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month down the road, you're just not going to do it anymore because, I don't feel like it. And that's kind of what Tay was alluding to at first as well, was people make these New Year's resolutions and then 2 months later, they don't do it. Okay. So, there's something to be said about that. And it's most of the time it's based off of emotions and feeling in the present. I love what he said. He wants to make a lifestyle change. Okay. He doesn't make a New Year's resolution. He makes a lifestyle change. That's what we have to focus on. If you're going to start making changes, they need to be lifestyle changes, not just a change or a resolution. Because ultimately, 2 months down the road, you're not even going to remember what that resolution is. Also, when he was talking about writing down goals, I was never a firm believer in this until Talon made me start writing down my goals and the steps to get to those. If you haven't done that, I really suggest that you do that. It will absolutely change the way that you start doing stuff, and just how you operate as well. So, no, really good word from him today. Really appreciate just his thoughts, and where his mind goes on a daily basis. So, real quick, guys, one announcement: the stock boot camp is coming up quick. We are almost out of March into April. If you haven't done so already, please sign up on the events tab that is located on our Facebook page. Make sure that you just mark that you are going. That's it. That's all you have to do. This is just to make sure that we can get some info out to you guys beforehand. That's going to help you during this boot camp. Please, 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 if you haven't done so, please make sure that you do that. And if you have some friends who maybe are interested, feel free to share that to them, and get them signed up. We would love to have as many people as possible, guys. It's free. It's virtual. We will send the link out to you. It's going to be a lot of information, a lot of good information. If you have no idea what the stock market is, or you know very little, or I'll even add this caveat: the only thing that you've heard about the stock market is from CNN, NBC, Fox News, anything like that, you need to be on this call. We are going to be dissecting the myths, the legends of it. We are going to be dissecting everything. So please, please, please make sure that you guys are signed up and ready to go. But other than that, man, we really appreciate you guys for taking the time out today to get on this call and to listen to what we have going on, and just kind of share our hearts and minds. And we hope to see you guys real soon on Friday. Again, Fridays, we're going to do our Financial Fridays for everyone. We are walking through economics. So if you have a student in high school or middle school, or if you're in college, or maybe you're an adult and you've never studied this kind of stuff before, hop on Fridays. We're going to be going into economics, and we're dumbing it down so that everyone can understand it, and that it's something that everyone gets, because this is stuff and information that we aren't taught. So please make sure that you guys are on. It'll be the same time Friday nights, except at 6 o'clock, not 7 o'clock. So again, that's Friday night, 6 o'clock, not 7 o'clock. Just make sure that you guys are on, and man, we're going to have a great time on that call. But other than that, we appreciate everyone being on tonight, and we will see you guys on Friday.